Hello everyone and welcome back to Tutorials of Tone. My name is Alex. Thank you so much for watching this video. As you heard in the intro, we're putting our pinky rings up to the moon with this one, and even grabbing a fretless bass. Just for fun. This is 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Maiers. We're taking our E bass into key bass territory yet again. We're going to have some fun diving into how we do that within our favorite Fractal system, whether it's the FM3, the FM9, or the XFX3. Let's dive right in. So here we have the synth bass preset, which has a lot of these song-specific presets dialed into it. And in our case, 24 Karat Magic is dialed up and ready to go. I use this on all of my wedding dance gigs, and super fun to have this just at the ready, getting into synth bass territory. And if I'm lucky enough to have a fretless like I usually do with this song, extra fun, icing on the cake. But let's dive into the layout for this specific preset. First up, we have our input block. Everything here is at stock settings except the threshold of our gate. Negative 47.5 dB. This is just a holdover from my Morse Music Man guitar and where I like having it there. You can change this to your own playing style. I've just kept it here just because. In this video, I will be playing this Music Man Bongo 5-string fretless. I absolutely adore this bass, and as you can tell, it's super fun to play and gets us really close to that nice portamento synth thing that you hear in this tune. Next up in our chain, we have our drive block. We've got a fuzz face pulled up, changing our waveform from a typical sine organic wave into something a little bit more synthetic, a little more blocky and right-angly. Our drive is down. We don't really need a lot of that. We've taken the tone up a bit to accentuate some of those highs, and our level is set to accommodate. In our tone tab, just a little bit of a low cut and a very significant high cut to really just focus on the bass frequencies that we're using when we play. Nothing to speak of in the graphic EQ or in the advanced tab. Now, we've heard what that sounds like with these stock settings. But what if we had more drive? Gets really gnarly really quick. So if you want that, that's how you do it. If you need a little bit more grind on your synth, great, but the drive block is really where that resides. By contrast, you can take the tone knob and get a lot more high end. But you get away from that synth bass sort of sound. We could also dial it back. Then you really lose that nice synthy quality. So this is the sweet spot I found, usually between 1 and 3 o'clock. Great place to have your tone set. Just make sure you set your level accordingly to keep you at unity gain when you turn this on and off. And note that the mix level is set to 100%. We want to change all of the signal, not just part of it. Our next block in the chain, the octave divider. And this is just set to 1 octave down. We have level 1 set to 100%. Level 2, which is 2 octaves down, set off. And we are running at 37.5% mix. So we get that low octave, but it's not our entire sound, or even the majority of it. And with this block, we have a nice low cut of 120 Hertz and a 10K high cut. This just gets rid of that excess and the artifacts that are brought about when using an octave pedal. A word of note, setting your detector source to input 1 will read the input from your bass as opposed to previous blocks in the chain. The feel is a little bit different, and the sound can be drastically different if we're reading the upper harmonics from a drive block, say. So let's hear what that sounds like. We have our input 1 as our detector source. And now block in. feel is very noticeable as a player, and the sound is negligible, but it's noticeable. So I like having this at input 1 on anything pitch related. Just keeps things nice and simple, just reading straight off of the guitar or bass DI into the Fractal. From there, we're running into my favorite bass model within the Fractal unit, the SVT Bass 1. Everything here, pretty neutral settings. Very close to stock. I've just taken a little bit of the bass down, treble up a bit, a little bit of gain and master volume from 5 o'clock. In our input EQ section, nothing to speak of for low cut. We really want the most out of our amps low in this, and we'll get to why. But a 10K high cut to get rid of the excess highs. And why is because we are carving out a lot of lows already in the output EQ section. This is the Dave LaRue curve. This really gives us a nice sense of attack and presence without losing our bass fundamental properties. It's great when you're playing individual lines, and then you can always change things within the drive block, the pitch block, the cab IRs to EQ things to your liking. We're going from our amp straight into a pair of SVT bass cab IRs with an 810 and a 410 mic with an M88 set even. In our preamp tab, we have a 60 Hz low cut set to a 12 dB slope and a 10K high cut set to a 6 dB slope to just get rid of some of that excess. And then, at the end, a little bit of medium room reverb, just to give us a little extra squish for board recordings, rehearsal recordings, etc. Of course, you have natural room reverb on a gig, but you may not hear that in a sterile recording environment. Well, that about does it for 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars and this bass tutorial of tone. I hope you enjoyed taking your E-bass into key bass territory, and the next time you're on a gig, you too can put your pinky ring up to the moon. If you liked this video, there are plenty more videos throughout the channel that you can check out. Tutorials of tone, Fractal 101s, gear reviews, playthroughs, lessons, etc. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all next time.